and welcome to my I Love Learning podcast. I'm Dr. Gina Anderson, and this is season 2. And can you believe it? Episode 48 of my I Love Learning podcast. I started this podcast to help save lives through our award-winning connected learning platform to share experts and awesome people who are saving and changing lives so you could connect with them. So I am so excited today to introduce you to my guest. She is not only an award-winning speaker, she is a TEDx speaker, and her talk is going to go live in about, I don't know, maybe a week. We're going to share it across the globe and help her message about perfectionism go wildly all over, because honestly, it's a topic that is important and many people struggle with. And Dr. Amna is here with me today, and she is the most beautiful, most incredible person. And she's sharing an important message as a doctor, as an MD, about this topic and more topics. And so thank you so much for joining me today. I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell everyone what you're passionate about.
Oh my goodness, Dr. Gina Anderson, thank you for having me. First of all, I am just so excited to be here. Your presence is so incredible. You bring so much energy and so much positivity. So I'm just so delighted, first of all, to be here. Thank you. A bit about myself, like you mentioned, I am a dual board certified physician. I'm also a behavior change specialist. I'm a podcaster. I'm a girl mom, and I'm currently working on my book on perfectionism. What I'm passionate about is empowering others to create what I call no BS sustainable well-being.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Tell us a little bit more about that.
We are living in this day and age where every time the word well-being or wellness is thrown at you, it seems very prescriptive. It seems very rigid. These are like the hacks that you need to follow. These are all the things that you need to buy. And frankly, we're tired of that. I am tired of that. And that all just feeds into this really rigid framework of looking at how we are going to heal ourselves. So I like to step away and allow my clients to reimagine and redefine what wellness looks for them, what success looks for them, and the fact that you can actually have both. You don't have to sacrifice your ambition for your wellness. There is space for both.
I love that, as high achieving individuals, sometimes, that is what gets compromised, right? Is our well-being, and our happiness. Is this something, has there been a hurdle in your life or anything that like you've had that, helped you come up with this realization? Or did you learn this somewhere? Like, was it in a textbook? Or tell us a little bit more about how you came to this realization.
Life is full of challenges, and I believe that the most powerful things that teach us what we're going to shift or what we're going to change or create don't really happen within textbooks. So I think for this specific question, and right now, what I would share is the biggest challenge that I faced was related to mental health. And for me, it was having postpartum depression and anxiety pretty bad, both the times that I had my daughters, and recognizing that perfectionism and the structures that are around us, first of all, prevented me for asking for help, and also recognizing that perfectionism also really made me gaslight myself very badly, that I needed rest, that I need to ask for help in the first place. So I think that for me, the biggest challenge surrounding this was in when it comes to my own mental health, my own mental well-being, because when that's at stake, you cannot create, you can't produce, you can't move forward. So how I overcame that was really, first of all, acknowledging my own humanity and recognizing that I need rest, that I don't have to be perfect. And of course, that I don't have to be perfect didn't happen all of a sudden. That was a gradual shift. And then asking for help. So a lot of times these days, what happens is we'll watch a video on social media, and that'll tell you, well, here are the 3 things that you're probably not doing or you're missing, and this is what you need to buy, or this is what you need to get. And it's all so prescriptive, so narrow, so rigid, and none of that stuff really actually makes you truly feel better. And inadvertently, what happens is you just end up feeling worse, and then you tell yourself, oh, I got this course, but I feel worse. Or I'm attending this conversation right now. By the end of the hour, let me make sure that I have recovered from my perfectionism and I'm self compassionate, all of this rush. So, what I'm trying to really lean into is, and the message that I try to spread is slow down. You can't
Mm.
press your healing into a hack, and caring for your mental health and well being can look very different, but it's so necessary.
It's an ongoing practice, isn't it? This isn't something like you said, like someone's going to listen to us today and feel necessarily better, but maybe it'll give them an opportunity to pause and decide they want to start. You know, this is your sign. If you hadn't had a sign before today, this is it, because you're here with us and you're listening. I see Amnad's here. Hello. I'm so glad that so many of you are joining us today, because let's just pause, right? Let's just be present, because everyone's having something in their life today, right, that is facing that they need. So I appreciate that. What do you think?
Absolutely.
What do you think in terms of, I started this podcast this year because I had this idea of winning. Like, what is winning?
Mhm.
Was it winning that we got on a TEDx? I mean, I don't know. Like, I think about it. What does winning mean to you?
Building off of what we just said, Gina, really what winning means to me is not feeling rushed and feeling that I'm enough.
Mm.
Making that choice of contentment very intentionally, because we could sit here and we could talk about all the different ways you're a high achiever, I'm a high achiever.
Mhm.
But when we can truly slow down, not feel pressured to prove ourselves and actually feel like we can savor the moment, really truly can smell the flowers. And that's what I believe that winning means to me now. And I would also add to that, that when my children are grown or when life has moved past, my friends, they've moved into different phases of life and they still want to come back and they want to hang out with me. I think that is also winning. Now that would I yeah,
Oh.
when people want to spend time with me because they want to, not because they have to. And that's how I look at winning in this chapter of my life.
Oh, I would come see you any day. I want to be with you all the time. So I don't can't imagine anyone not wanting to spend time with you, So I can appreciate that. And what really keeps you happy? What keeps you going? Because I know that this pressure of perfectionism is always there, right? It's not like it goes away. It's like this cloud. I don't know how you describe it, or like this pressure on your chest or anxiety that's always there. So what do you do to keep you happy or moving forward?
I think it's really important to first I'll just break away a little bit and describe what my definition of pressure, my definition of not pressure, perfectionism is,
Ah.
um, which is like this perpetual feeling that you're not enough, that no matter what you do, you're lacking, you're inferior, and you're less than. And that can be present in multiple contexts, whether it is something that I have internalized on an individual level or something that I feel society has put on me. I don't think that it's one element necessarily. I think it's a combination of different factors. So to your question about what gives me daily happiness and what keeps me moving forward, first of all, is again cultivating that practice of mindfulness, which has allowed me to truly notice my agency and choice every day. Because what happens
Mm.
is every day when we pick up the phone, when we wake up in the morning, there's so much we cannot change in the world. And it hits us, especially as empaths, as high achievers, because you feel what's happening all over. And you feel this feeling that I cannot do anything about it. So when I practice mindfulness, it allows me again to slow down and notice that I have agency and that I have choice. And while there's so much I cannot change, there's also a lot that I can change. And when I lean into that, it allows me to recognize my circle of control versus circle of influence, which then attaches to my purpose and sense of making sense of things when nothing is actually making sense. So realizing, yeah, even in this situation, I do have choice. I can do something about it. So that's number one. That for me, agency is happiness. And second is really gratitude. Gratitude is I get to experience that every single day now in a way where even when things look horrible and terrible, wherever you're at, I personally feel like you can always find a very small, tiny pocket of gratitude and just like leaning into that.
Mm. I love that. Last week, it's funny. I think you just answered her question, but last week we had the question for you, Lori. I don't know if you watched Lori, but if you didn't, you should go back and connect with her. She really had this question of how did you overcome perfectionism? Because she was really interested in your topic.
Yeah, she's incredible. And I appreciate that question very much. I think that for me, it has come in different shapes and forms, and it has been a journey. And I really like to preface and set the context for that anytime this question is asked, because again, social media, those 30-second reels will make you think that transformation, whether it's physical or mental, happens quickly in highlights and this weirdly like dopamine driven short circuit loops, and it's not like that. So the first step was always awareness, and
Mm,
awareness happened slowly and gradually. I will say last year, top of start of last year, I realized, wow, okay, perfectionism has been the thread that has tied together so many of my experiences. And once I was able to generate that awareness, I could set the stage, try to like go out and seek answers. So that was my next step. Oh, after awareness was curiosity.
mm,
What have the researchers been doing? What are they saying? What are other humans that are like me or maybe not like me? What is working for them? And these are the conversations that I've logged in my own podcast. That's kind of what was the nidus for actually starting my podcast, was just sharing these stories from these incredible high achievers and researchers.
mm,
And so that was the second thing, curiosity. And then I think that the last thing that has been the most powerful, along with awareness and curiosity, has been self compassion. And
mm,
that has taken years to
mm,
cultivate.
mm,
I have a very strong inner critic.
mm,
I am much better now.
mm,
But if I was to say, oh, there is some invisible barrier and some proverbial line that I've crossed and now I'm recovered and I
mm,
always talk like very nicely to myself, that's a lie. I'm very aware that we're live right now, and all the ums and the ahs will just be there for everyone to witness. That makes me a little uncomfortable. And so I just wanted
mm.
to say that out loud. It's not easy, it takes time. And that's what has truly leaned into self compassion, asking myself, would I talk to a loved one the way I just talked to myself, has really helped me cultivate that.
Wow. I mean, those are such practical, steps for individuals to take. I was at a conference just a few days ago and I showed the video about what does gratitude really mean? Like stepping out and really seeing the sunshine, stepping out and really being present. Because a lot of people talk about it, but they don't know how to experience it or how to lean into it. So I love that you practice those and share that it's an ongoing, it's not like a one time event or anything like that. And so, what would you say to somebody that maybe this morning woke up and felt like, I don't know if I can move forward this morning? I don't really have a passion. I don't really feel it. What would you recommend to them?
Well, I will say, first of all, that feeling that you're experiencing, get curious. What is that saying to you? Just pause, get curious. Instead of judging yourself saying that I'm stuck, I'm not motivated, ask yourself, what do I truly need right now? Do I need more rest? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to call a friend? That feeling right there, that is leaning towards some sort of inner wisdom, which just by picking up a book or forcing yourself into something different is probably not going to help you with that. So
Mm,
first is pause and get curious. The second step I would say is to start small, because a lot of time we think about action and these big steps. And I know, Gina, you are an incredible force when it comes to micro learning. So I know I'm sort of preaching to the choir here. So, but I will say start small, rebuild your passion with tiny sparks, a small conversation. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a little practice that can give you some joy. And
mm,
then lastly, seek connection. Always don't do it all alone. These perfectionistic tendencies and narratives that we have playing in our head, they constantly make us feel that we have to have all the answers and we need to look flawless and perfect and put together
mm,
while we're also stumbling in the mess and growing and learning. Don't feel that you have to get into that pressure, and you don't have to do it all alone. So
mm,
step away, get curious, start small, and seek connection with a friend, with a mentor, with a colleague, a coach, a friend. walk down into the coffee shop, whatever that looks like for you right now.
Absolutely. I love that advice. It's so powerful. So I love that. Next week, we have someone on my podcast who's in my industry, the truck driving industry. His name is Clayton Drew, and he does training and orientation. What do you think we should ask him next week?
That's a great question. And I will say, with somebody of his background, I would be curious to know, what is one thing you wish you knew about your future life at 8 years old?
Oh, wow. I like that question. I might have to think about that. That's a really good one. I love it. So, why don't you share with us where people can learn more about you, where they can find information about your speaking, your podcast, your book, your book that's, on the way coming, right? And everything that you're doing, your TEDx, where can people find more?
Thank you for the opportunity. Everything you can find me here, right here on LinkedIn with my first and last name, Amna Shabbir. You can also go to my website. It's success-curated.com. Success-curated.com. And that's where you'll be able to find my podcast, where you can double click and get deeper into this. What is perfectionism and what does sustainable success look like? And I love to connect with humans. There's a way to just reach out, the social media right here. And yeah.
I love that. Well, leave us today with some lasting words that will send us off into the weekend.
I invite you to be kind to yourself. That is the one takeaway that I want you to take with you, because what you're programmed to do is to think that you have to be really hard on yourself. And if you are hard on yourself, that is going to make you successful. Studies show that it doesn't work that way. That is probably why you're procrastinating that project that you want to get done, or that next role that you want to go for. You have to be your own ally. So objectively speaking, I invite you to talk to yourself with the same kindness that you would talk to a friend or even a stranger.
Awesome. Be kind today, everyone, on this Friday Junior. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.